안녕하세요 여러분, I'm a Valentine이라고 합니다. What's up everybody, I'm a Valentine here, and this is gonna be a coffee and chill, except, spilled it a little bit. I'm drinking tea. So, I haven't made one of these in a really long time. So basically I'm just gonna be chatting about life, some things that's going on, some things that are stressing me out. And yeah. The reason I'm even making this is because I woke up this morning and God was like, the voice in my head was like, for me sometimes they're one and the same. Like I know the voice in my head is like God talking to me directly sometimes, so sometimes I use them interchangeably. But literally woke up and the voice in my head was like, Alma, you're supposed to tell people about like what you have going on. And like talking about Alma's world, talking about sharing my story, talking about sharing what I have going on. And just told me I'm supposed to talk about it. And then I have this app now. It's called the Bible app. Shout out to Quint for getting me on that. But the app like sends you a Bible like story every morning, not story, but a Bible like snippet every morning to read. And the one that was on mine was one just saying basically, don't follow what the masses are doing. That doesn't have to be your story. Just because you see a lot of people doing something doesn't mean that you should. And it was kind of funny because the night before, literally last night, I was talking on my story, and I kind of do that often. So if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me at Alma OTW, ALMA OTW on Instagram. But something that I'll do is I'll be talking on my story about my life. And I know a lot of people don't do that. I know a lot of people look down on that. They look down on people that kind of share a lot about their life on the internet. And, you know, they call it oversharing and things like that. And to an extent, like, yes, there is oversharing. And in another sense, it's kind of like me sharing my personal experience with the world. It's only me that can tell you what oversharing is. You know what I mean? Like, it's about my own limit, what I'm willing to share. If I'm willing to share something, it's not oversharing. But it's kind of like people's own judgments and limits that they put on things for themselves. They can kind of limit you with the things that they do. And I feel like I'm so consciously aware of like the way people perceive me, the way that people are accepting or not accepting me within society, the way that they may or may not accept me in the future. Like I'm constantly thinking about all these things, even when I'm making music, when I'm putting out these videos now. I'm like, oh my gosh, what about when I am famous? When they look back on this, they're gonna ask me about all these things I talked about. They're gonna ask me about this. I'm gonna be incriminated. Everyone's gonna hate me. The people I've worked with before, they're gonna hate me, or you know, just all this types of stuff. When for me, it's like, yo, I need to get this shit off my chest. / I want to share. I want to talk about it because there's people that. Like, yo, when I really am successful, when I really do have a lot of things figured out, which I'm trying to go towards, I would hope that there's a lot of people that would just be thankful for the things that I said and even the things I've changed my mind about. Like, there's things I've said before where it's like, maybe I would take it back now, or maybe I would have said it differently, or maybe I would have felt differently now just because of the way that things have developed and the more context that I have and a new perspective. But it's kind of like there's people who, I feel like it's a part of life, right? But it's like on the internet, you know, people talk about cancel culture a lot now. And it's kind of like we almost have to be defensive even while we're talking. Like even while I'm talking, I'm over here cutting myself off. How do you cut yourself off? Because I feel like somewhat defensive about even just the things I'm saying in this moment. Because I feel like somebody's going to come for my neck for them. So yeah, I feel like there's like a hyper awareness of the response that you will have to anything that you say on the internet. And it makes it hard to even like talk when you're a creator, especially when you're just coming up or you're trying to come up. Like I've been doing this for like at least 6 years, which is crazy. Cause I think I have like what, 25 subscribers? No, 60, no 70, I have 70, which is amazing. I'm really glad now, right? But I've been wanting, and I've been thinking that, I used to think that as soon as I started YouTube, the first year I'd have like 1 million subscribers. And it would just be freaking amazing. And it's like, whoa, you know, that has not been the case. But I would hope that, you know, by the time I do have like millions upon millions of subscribers and people are really keeping up with what I'm doing and they care about what the hell I have going on in my life and shit like that, and I'm inspiring the masses and things like that, I hope that the same person that is 5 years in or 4 years in or 2 years in or 3 years in is feeling like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? Or 6 years in feeling like, fuck, maybe I should just stop doing this. This shit isn't working. You know, I hope that they would see that and be like, damn, I mean, like, in her 8th year, her 9th year, her 10th year, her 11th year, she came up and suddenly had this, or not even suddenly, but like was able to build a lot of things. That's what I would hope. That's what I hope to see. And my goal really with this channel is like, I want people to enjoy the things I'm saying. Like, I want people to feel entertained. I want people to feel inspired. Like, there's always this video I see in my head, and I know I'm somewhere, excuse me. I know I'm somewhere in China, and I'm just like, I'm with my team. Like, I have a team. I'm with this team, my team. I know they're my team too. Like, they work with me / for me. Like, it's my team. I just know it's my team. And it's like the end of the day, and I'm holding the camera. I have a crew. Like, I have a crew that films like the shit I have going on every day. Because I want my days to be packed up. Like, I want to be running shit. Like, I have businesses I'm running that I'm like the head of / CEO of, and I have like business meetings in the morning. And then I have shit like I'm working on a choreography in the afternoon, and like fucking studio at night, and then fucking just editing some shit or like typing some shit up, typing something right before I go to sleep. And the crew is just like we're fucking great. And it's like, that's why I get so, that being said, like, I know I'm kind of going off on a different tangent. Like, I really do want a crew. I guess that was the point of that, but I have a vision, basically, is what I was kind of saying. But that being said, like, it's so odd to me because I really want a boyfriend right now, right? Like, I really want a partner. And that's like been a big thing for me for like quite a while. Just like, oh, I want a boyfriend. Because I really do want a boyfriend. It's my wig on straight, girl. It's not, but I kind of like it. Looks so good. This looks so cute. So cute. It's new, fresh out the pack. It really is though. But yeah, I want a boyfriend, and I've wanted one for a long time. And I'm gonna put some more lip gloss. But I wanted one for a long time, like I said. But it's like, when I really think about how I want my days to look, it's like, where's the time for this man? I'm just like, I don't know. I think it's like, I want that person where we find the time. You know what I mean? Like, I miss you so bad because I'm so busy being so rich and shit like that. Like, either that, it's like, it's weird to have like split fantasies where it's like, sometimes now I fantasize about a guy that like, he pulls up and he like hands me something. Like, he hands me a Frappuccino. Even though I literally make like Frappuccinos all day long. Like, he hands me a Frappuccino. And he like hands me food like in a bag. Like, every time he sees me, he just brings me some food. Like, that's just so cute to me. I would really want that. Or like, just a cuddle bear. Like, I need a cuddle bear. And that's another thing for me. So I feel like there's a lot of things that are kind of like vulnerable / intimate that I really want to talk about. But I feel kind of like, you know, there's people that at my job that could find this and say something, or, you know, it's not even that what I'm saying is like illegal or wrong or anything. It's just that like, it's vulnerable, you know what I mean? So it's like, for me to talk about things like sex or like wants or desires or like past negative experiences or even things that happen at work or anything, it's like, I feel like I have to be careful about what I talk about on here. And it's like, right now I'm kind of in this position of like, I really do want to achieve success kind of where I'm at, you know, with what's in front of me. And I also do want to achieve the success with like YouTube and with music. And I feel like part of why God even this morning was telling me like, yo, you're supposed to share your story. God saying, yo, that's hilarious. No, but I feel like part of that is because like, I'm supposed to be doing this. Like, I'm supposed to be doing YouTube. It's not just a hobby. Like, this is supposed to be like some real, like, this is a real like thing I'm supposed to be doing in life. And it's kind of like, I've been very sidetracked. Like, y'all can see the way I haven't been posting, not even the way I have not been posting. That's kind of not good. And I've been getting really stressed, and I've kind of been leaning in more to where I'm working at, which is, I think, is for the, like, if I'm really on God's plan, I need to do what God is asking of me. So if God wakes me up in the morning and I'm reminded that I'm not supposed to be just following what the crowd does, and I'm literally told that I'm supposed to be talking about my story, just talking about my day, talking about stuff like that more, I need to go ahead and lean in and do it. And it's hard for me, y'all. It's really hard because I have been so stressed. Like, and that's another thing I noticed about with guys. So whenever I'm stressed, I'm always like, oh, I want a boyfriend, 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 I want a boyfriend. And something that I talked about with my therapist last year actually was about, I figured out how sometimes my stress can be related to like some of my desires when it comes to like having a man. So whenever I'm feeling like very secure, I'm not as like pressed. I'm not as like, oh, I need a boyfriend right now. But whenever I'm feeling like a damsel in distress, whenever I'm feeling in distress, that's when I'm like, oh man, I just wish I had a boyfriend that could just was like rich and could clear it all up. And what's funny is that like even when I think about like the type of partner that I would want, like let's say he was rich, it's like it's like I really want to find my own success, which is why it's kind of like truly a cognitive dissonance, because even if I had a partner that was rich, I would still want to find my own success. But it's like the fact that he could take care of me and the fact that I'm not letting him, like if he wanted to do something like paying my rent every now and then, like that should be great. Like I would absolutely love that right now, because like, girl, girl, like there's things that when I was younger, I wouldn't even understand or think like having a guy to pay your rent, like is really a thing at all. But it's things that now that like are kind of talked about on the internet, where like maybe when I was younger, I'd be like, why would you want a man to pay a rent? What's a sugar daddy? Why would you even need that? Why would you even want that? But now that I'm like out here, I'm like, shit, like I get it. It's rough. It's rough out here. Like I'm working a lot. I'm about to get another job. Like I'm literally gonna go here tomorrow, this place, tomorrow for a serving job, which will be after my main job. And then my other mentorship job. So I would be working like a lot, right? Thank God that my dad sent me the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, because my whole mindset around working has changed a lot. But still, it's kind of like, I get it. Like I get people who like, they kind of want to enjoy certain parts of life. Like I get it. And it's not that I do. It's just because I've kind of had to surrender and understand that like, yo, like, I know there's people out here that have sugar daddies. There's people out here that have rich daddies. There's people that have like whatever types of funds and situations coming their way. That shit is not my story. Like I've kind of had to come to that. Like when I read The Richest Man in Babylon, I feel like that's kind of what that did to me. And it kind of solidifies to me like the importance of having an amazing work ethic, and truly almost like the mystical aspect of like, there's this part about the goddess of good luck. Like I really like it's so hard to describe because it's a spiritual thing, and I felt it and I understood it from that book, and I truly believe it to be true. And the power of prayer, it just hits different. Like the manifestations, like that shit was not working for me, but the more that I've been praying, like I've been seeing things start happening. But it's like you have to meet God with it, you know what I mean? Like even when people talk about manifestation, they talk about how you really do have to match it with the work ethic, which is true. A lot of the things that I've been seeing on the internet, because there was like 2 months earlier this year where I did not have a phone. 2 months, maybe a little bit more, maybe like 2.5. I did not have a phone, right? It's crazy. So much has happened this year. It's been a lot this year. And there's people that are jealous of me right now that they don't know. Like I was broke as fuck 4 months ago. Hell, you can't even say I'm broke now. If you wanted to, I feel blessed right now. I'm still confused about things because they're trying to have me move this house, and it's a mess, and it's just I have a lot of money that I have to like give to people, but it's for things that I'm trying to move towards, and it's complicated and it's a lot, and I get overwhelmed and I'm confused. But I'm just gonna tell y'all about these things, and then hopefully I'll feel better. And then if you're dealing with this ish, whenever you see this, you're like, you know why I felt that. I feel better. I feel like I can handle this ish. Okay, cool. Also, this just reminded me, I had this thing that I made called Officially Okay, which I hope that I will get back to it. As I said, I feel like I'm going to get back to it. Officially Okay is kind of just about like not even trying to be perfect in life, but just like get to the point where you're actually okay. And maybe I want to talk about like various things like finances and stuff like that, because I feel like even now, like, I'm sorry, but the little self-care routines, like, that's cute. And I fucking love to watch it. Like, I watched one last night and I was like, man, I used to really be watching these like all the time. And the same thing with like makeup routines, all that type of stuff is great and I love it. But now that I'm out here and I'm really trying my best, I'm like, I can't just be spending $50 on new makeup like every time it comes out, which is like every week. Something new and exciting comes out every week. I don't have time for that. I don't have the funds for that. Like, I'm trying to be financially free. Like, I'm trying to be rich as fuck. I don't know anybody that didn't grow up like wanting to be rich as fuck. At least wanting to, right? So I'm like, I know I can do it. I know I have to. Like, it's within me, I have to. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, if I'm really being authentic to myself, like, I can't just scale it down and act like the only thing I really give a fuck about is this makeup, even though I love the makeup. So I'm like, that being said, I think I do want to talk about certain things like finances and budgeting, like, but I don't want to kind of do it in a way as if I really know everything, because I don't. And like, it's like, I just want to kind of talk about what I'm doing, like the way I'm going about things, because even now I can't say that I don't procrastinate. I can't say that I don't like, I can't say that I entirely maximize my time. Like, I'm not trying to put on an air of like having it all together. And I'm too fucking tired to even try to put on that air for you. Like, to try to give you a video that is so perfectly edited all the time. Like, I don't have the energy for it, and I don't care enough to do that. And it's like, I feel so frustrated with myself, because in my head I see these perfectly edited videos that are so entertaining that I've always wanted to make, and I get so frustrated because I know that I don't feel like doing that shit right now, but I want to have the result from that, and I feel conflicted. So I'm really excited for when I can have the money to have a team on this channel, and really just in all the things I'm doing, because I need help with like managing my time, managing what the fuck I'm promoting, and my marketing shit, like working on shit like Outcast Connect. I need people that, for example, with Officially Okay, I would need people that help me line up what the hell I'm recording and doing all that type of shit. Almost ASMR, like, I want to have a nice setup and have everything be cute and aesthetic and all this stuff, but it's like, I can't, I can only do so much in a day. And even within myself, I'm starting to just be like, yo, I'm fucking tired. I am tired. Like, I get tired. Like, who is it? Kevin Gates is like, I don't get tired. I'm tired. Even like me looking at myself with this wig right now is making me so happy, because it's so shiny and so cute. And I'm just like, damn, like, how nice would it be if I could order wigs like all the time? Like, nice wigs and shit like all the time. But even with that, like, that's another thing, y'all. Budgeting is so real. Like, I can't just be caught up spending ridiculous amounts of money on things that I can't actually afford. And like, there's so many jokes about, I talk in circles, as you can tell. I hope I'm still entertaining you. But there's so many jokes about and things that I see on the internet, kind of going back to what I was saying about being without a phone earlier this year. But so many talks and jokes on the internet about, oh, I can't really afford this lifestyle, but I do. Or like, oh yeah, and I did what I gotta do to get it back. And it's just kind of like, y'all, like, our well-being is important. Like, who we are is important. Like, virtue and all these things. Like, I'm gonna just be real with you for a second. Well, you know what? No, let me take it back, and then we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back, okay? Laziness, like, sometimes I'm very lazy, right? But it's like laziness and expectation, it's not gonna patent. You know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna patent. Like, they always say that on shits and gigs. It's not gonna patent. Like, selling people this idea that they should kind of do nothing and get paid a lot. Like, I was feeding into that shit for the longest. I was confused about how I put out all these songs. Why has nothing come of it yet? Like, I'm so good and I've been working so hard. Why has nothing come of it yet? And there's almost like this minimalism sort of like mindset that's really big right now, where it's like, I do the least, I do the bare minimum, and like expect to be like rich and happy and successful and expect the most out of others when I try to do the bare minimum. Like, I don't give my all in anything that I do, but I expect to be just living lavish and taken care of and things like this. And like I said, this was me even living in this sort of mentality for a long time, because earlier this year I had a friend who we would go out like really often, like every day, and we would go to these artsy ass events and we meet all these artists and they're all cool as fuck. How many conversations about collabing were there really though? How many times have I heard somebody say, "Ooh, that's really cool, like, it's really dope, like, maybe we should work"? How many times did we work? How many times did we work? Oh, yeah. Like, I'm seeing a lot of that. And especially in our artist community, like our truly creative community. I'm talking about these people fine as hell, sexy. Like, I'm talking some sexy ass people with some sexy ass minds. And they're creative as fuck. It's juicy. The art they make is juicy. Delicious. But it's like that sort of laziness. Like, it's like we max out on so much disappointment, and then we kind of don't like put our heads down. Like, we're not as humble, you know what I mean? Like, our egos are so high, and we go so hard to protect that ego because we've been hurt, and we end up like spending so much time like trying to figure out what we're doing or why we're doing or whatever, when really we should have just been doing something. And as I'm saying this, I'm really like, dang, that's what I've been doing even the past few weeks myself, the past couple months still, even away from them. But what's dangerous about being in like collectives of that and in those groups is that you're refeeding yourself that mentality. And I feel like, you know, they say the people that you're around the most is who you are. And I was talking to someone today and they were talking about how it's been a couple years and they had all these goals and they're feeling kind of frustrated and they're not really sure why they've been, you know, like dealing with a certain thing. And I was saying like, do you see any underlying factors here? And they ended up like joking with someone around them like, oh, just something. What I was peeping was something that reminded me of myself. I'm seeing someone who was with a friend who, yes, they have goals, yes, they have things they're chasing, but they're not pushing themselves on a 10, or they don't have a certain work ethic mentality that they're applying to the things that they do. And so because we can reinforce within ourselves and make all these jokes and these excuses and these reasons and understand each other, we can keep ourselves in this comfortable little spot where we're making all these excuses and we're like, oh, I don't understand why things aren't working out for me. And it's like, oh, woe is me. And instead of us being like, you know what, fuck, like, I've tried to be just an artist and make bread off this. This shit hasn't popped yet. Let me bust ass at this job. Let me show God that this is how much I can get done when I work hard. Or like, man, I really want this fucking apartment, which is me right now. I really want this fucking apartment. I'm gonna work 3 jobs for it. What does it take? Because I want this apartment. When it's something I want, I'm gonna do that. And it's based off, who are you gonna take that example from? I have somebody around me, somebody I work with actually. She was telling me about how she really wanted to go to Korea to like study for her like international student study thing she was gonna do in Korea. Now me, I speak Korean too. Like, y'all have heard me on my other channel, Alma's ASMR. If you don't know Alma's ASMR, go check it out. I actually need to make more videos in Korean now that I think about it, because this is a skill that I have. I'm just holding, just not even using it. Even like music and songs in Korean. Y'all, my chest feels weird. I feel like I'm about to fall apart. I've literally just eaten cheese. I've not eaten vegetables in like a fucking week. And I feel like my chest is about to fall apart. But I feel so cute right now at the same time. I'm just like, ha, 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 ha. But yeah, she was saying how she was working 3 jobs because she was saving, trying to get into this thing. And when she said it, it was something I was thinking about doing, like working another job. And when she said it, I was like, you are working 3 jobs. I'm like, you know what? Like, what's my excuse? What's the excuse? What's the excuse? This girl was working 3 jobs while she was in school. In school. What's my excuse? Like, I want an apartment so that they can't be on the same type of fuck shit that they're on at this place I'm at. There's some things that we're trying to get them handled. God, please put it in your hands, because God, I can't, I can't do anything about this. Well, if there is something I can do, please show me. And the things that are out of my control, please bless them with your will and your way, and please protect me, because I am so confused and I feel very overwhelmed and I am not sure what to do, but I trust that you will give me the best outcome. Amen. That's how I'm feeling about that. I'm gonna side note because I got off track. But well, basically, having that work ethic is something that I feel like a lot of us artists, like, I'm so glad that I'm saying this, because I'm reminding myself. use myself as an example. I get so frustrated with myself when I make a song and I feel like it's not sounding how I want it to sound. And I feel like I'll listen to artists, like the most recent one, Pink Panthers, is so fucking good. Just discovered her, and she reminds me of myself in a way. And because she reminds me of, like, her sound reminds me of, like, my song Burger King, or like my song Bullshit, or just different songs that I've made where it's like that sort of high-pitched sound, but I didn't go into the juiciness, so I didn't get into the, like, thick of it for that, fully explore that sound. And so I start comparing myself, and I'm like, fuck, like, her sound is so smooth. Like, it sounds so smooth all the way through. And me, I've been using GarageBand. I don't really even know how to use all these tools in here. I never studied it. Like, I never really went in. What have I been doing all this time? Da da da. And I'll get down about it. And I don't want to make a song. I don't even feel like making a song anymore. I'm like, fuck. Well, it's not even that good. Why should I even make it? Right? But it's kind of like, I had to remind myself then, but I still haven't made it anything in like a week, maybe 2. Oh, I hate that. That's not how I want to be. That's not how I want to be. I want to be, like, constantly creating something dope and, like, inspiring people. That's how I want to be. But no one ever saw me cry until at the party the other night. Do you remember all the things that you said to me? They came out of your mouth automatically. But I'm so used to saying, I'm fine. Like, that resonates with me. Like, that, she's so good. But I have been comparing myself. And so what we'll do as artists sometimes is we'll get frustrated like that. We'll be like, man, I've been trying all this time. Fuck, like, I just need to stop. But it's like, all that time that you stop, you're wasting. And then you'll get motivated again. Then you'll look back like, why was I wasting all that time? And a part of it is truly just cocooning, which apparently is a real thing that other people have thought of. I think there's, you know what, actually, no, I truly do believe there's a mental wave that you're on when you're, like, truly on your highest wave of thinking. And the things that you say will literally match the other things that other people on that wave are saying and thinking. So I was telling my sisters about cocooning. I literally, like, I can't say I came up with it because it was the wave, but it came to me. Like, I didn't hear it anywhere and then repeat it. But then I saw somebody talking about cocooning, like the holistic psychologist. We're on the same wave, apparently, because I was saying something last night, and then on her page, something popped up that was, like, exactly what I was talking about in that moment. And it was, like, posted that same day. So I was like, we're on the same wave, because that shit keeps happening. But the cocooning thing, there is a certain amount of cocooning that I think is just going to be what it is. And at the same time, like, I just pray that, I pray to not be lazy. I don't want to be a lazy bitch. Like, I want to be successful, and I want to be trying for everything that I'm after, and I want to inspire that in other people. So it's like, I don't know, y'all. I just want to do my best. I want to get better. I want to get better. And at the same time, I don't feel like getting off this and just suddenly making a song. I don't. Like, I'm looking at my computer right now, and I'm just like, I still don't want to make a song. I don't want to. And I don't know, y'all. Sometimes I'm just dealing with a lot of things. I feel stressed. Sometimes I just don't fucking feel like it. Sometimes I just don't. And then, like, it's like, I want to be cool and be like, you know what, but I'm going to do it anyways. But it's like, I can't promise you that. I can't promise you that tonight I'm going to do that. Like, let me give you all my excuses. I'm not sure where the hell or when the hell I'm moving, my apartment complex is doing renovations, and they have this clause in the lease where, like, when they tell you to move, basically, you gotta fucking move. And they tried to put me in this place where there's a guy living there, and I was like, I went over, because I was asking him, like, hey, like, do you know what the people are like? Because I was just worried, like, anxious about who the new roommates are gonna be. And then, what's it called? Because this place is, like, rented out by their room, basically, right? So she was like, honestly, if you want to go knock and say hello and just meet them, you can do that. This is like the girl in the office. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm actually gonna do that. So I went over there, said hello, met the one girl. She was sweet. Well, the one lady, she's not a girl, she's a lady. To shorten it, which maybe I'll get into more tea once this is all over, but not right now. Basically, the other person that's living there is living there with their boyfriend. And when I found out, I was like, I don't want to be living with a man. Like, no. Like, I don't want to be living with a man, y'all. Like, no, not at all. Because I can't be coming home afraid to go to the kitchen and cook up a meal trying to save money. And there's a man that I'm worried about, like, around, like, he's gonna be here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no. And I'm a 21-year-old girl. I'm not about to be doing this. What are you? So I contacted the leasing office. It stressed me as I'm thinking about it. Contacted the leasing office and told them, like, hey, like, I don't want to live with a man. Like, is there something we can do? Like, find a different apartment, because that's just a safety concern for me. And I was like, listen, I'm sorry, I know you have a lot going on, because I'm sure they really do have a lot going on with, like, they're renovating, they're getting all this stuff changed. There was, like, recently a management change and all this, and someone else bought the apartments and all this type of stuff. So I'm not trying to be insensitive to that. If y'all see crumbs on my bed, I fully just ate the cheese off of this pizza because I've had this pizza in my freezer for like a freaking month and a half and didn't eat it. And I finally ate it because I was trying not to order food on Grubhub. I actually kind of like Grubhub, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm trying to save money because I have to pay this down payment on this new place for next year, which I signed the lease for and I'm too lit about it, but I have to be making enough money. I have to be making $1,145 at least. Well, I have to be making more than that. More than that. Like more, a lot more actually. So let's pray this channel does better by next year. I don't know. I have to be fucking consistent and I'm just overwhelmed. Y'all, I can't even finish everything I'm saying. I'm getting tired and I've been talking for 32 minutes, 52 seconds. And listen, cheers. We at least did this. Girl, we'll do it again. But for now, bye.